So as you can see here, we have his dash completely out of the car. We removed the dash, we cut it up to where we want the dash to sit at. Cleaned up a lot of the wiring. We took off the blower motor, took off the heater core, took off everything that was possibly underneath the dash. Fixed some of the wiring. It's not necessarily completely gone, but we don't know exactly what's the chassis part still, because some of the chassis harness still works. So we're just gonna keep it and just get out of the way. Whatever was unplugged is unplugged. Whatever was plugged aside from the heater core is staying off. Um, Fixed some of the switch panels right here. We have everything switched over to down here, so that way it's a little bit easier to get to. We're gonna make a cover for it still because it is just open in the back. Got to clean that up, and then we're gonna be redoing the dash. The dash is pretty torn up and disgusting. I don't like the way it looks, but we're gonna be fixing it and cleaning it. Gonna be repainting it like just like a solid flat black to make it look nice and OEM, but with blocked off holes, blocked off vents, and everything. Gonna be doing the Street Faction style floor plates, but we're gonna be making it ourselves. Gonna clean up and remove all the old insulation, the tar, whatever you want to call all that shit. Dry ice and clean it up because we are painting the inside white. We're gonna make it look nice and pretty. Doing our own custom door cards. Gonna make that look all nice and everything as well too. Gonna clean up just a bunch of things that it needs because we do still plan on doing something else with the card in a different library, different kit. Maybe I'm not entirely sure yet, but for the most part, it looks good, and as it's going, it's good. We got the wiring set up for the switch panel. Got all that situated. Move all the old wiring out of the way. Replaced or remounted the ECU because it used to be on the floor. People kept kicking it, just getting in the way. Nothing happened to it, but just out of the way. Remounted it somewhere else, and we're just going to be cleaning up some of the situations here and there. We're going to be doing a new custom cluster because I did my little brother's custom one here, and we got to go over it and make it look nice and pretty, and actually make the RPMs work because that's been our biggest deal, where the RPMs never work for it. We've been working on this for a little bit. If you can see from the video right here, we have the subframe off the car. Last drift event, we had the diff completely explode, and then the bushings for the subframe completely were toast. No use of driving like that, so we took everything down. Just picked up the new diff yesterday. I'll show you guys that in a bit. And we just ordered the new what are they called, solid diff bushings and everything for the car, so gonna be ready to go soon. We also did just finish this 240. We painted it a couple days ago. Just finished up his last parts. We did all the body kit, roof wing, trunk wing. Did his hood yesterday. Got all the fenders, everything on the car. Underneath the car is painted as well too. It's gonna be black and white for this section because the guy didn't want me to show it yet, but super nice color that we did. It's insane once we show it. You guys might know who this is. It's Jay from Auto Factory Realize. He's going with a whole different look, completely changing the car up and everything. Has one of my favorite kits. Has BN overs front and rear. He has a full Works 9 kit. Super exciting. One of my favorite kits for these cars. Did everything. Headlight covers. He has I think the East Bear mirrors. I forgot what they're called, but looks super cool. Got the car done the other day, and I'm gonna be pulling it out because I got this R34 that I'm gonna be working on as well too. That I'm gonna be bringing it in right now, and finishing that up right now because we're doing the GTR style rear overs and the front overs. So we did the front ones already. I worked on the driver's side. We're gonna be finishing up on the passenger side right now. Actually, vice versa. We did the passenger side, finishing up the driver's side right now, and then we're gonna get them glued on with panel bond, and then go from there and start molding it together and get that going. So I'll show you guys that in a bit. All right, we got it to start. Super heavy ass truck, but let's get this going. It's always so tough getting out of here because we have such a small little exit way. Back up, all the way out. All right, so we're gonna be parking this over here. This is the Skyline. So like I said, this is a front that we did already. And this is the rear one that we did on this side. We got everything cut up from the bottom and the inside to clean it all up. We just gotta glue it on now and then mold it together and make it all one piece. We're gonna be working on the other side today. Getting this side all situated and going. Gotta do the gas gap, gas door and everything, so we got that going for today. Alright, now that we got the jumper on it, we will be getting it moved out of the way. Like butter. Alright, we'll leave it here for a second. Alright, let's get this into the garage and get this side going. I also got another car I gotta paint, so I'm gonna be bringing that car up right now too. We're doing an Evo 9 or Evo 10. All the same thing. Gonna get the Skyline up and going. get this in the garage. So here's the Skyline that we're doing. It is a GTT or GTST. I don't know the big difference about them, but we're doing the GTR conversion here. He's already done the rear bumper sash kits and the front bumper of the GTR, but he did the narrow body. So we're gonna try to fit this narrow body onto the actual GTR wide body. We have everything for it. Like we have the gas lid that goes with the new one because they are different. Um, we have the new over that we're going to be putting over. We already did that side. I already did that the other day. We trimmed, cut the stock quarter panel, so we do about like an inch, half an inch maybe out of the way. Weld it shut, and then we just Bondo it closed, so that way it looks nice and pretty. We sand it off and make it look nice and smooth. Primer it, and then let it sit just that way. We put on the over, trim it together, or trim it on, sorry. We trim it on, and then once we take it off, we glue it from the back with panel bond, stick it down, self tap it down together so that way it holds, let it sit for about a day at most, should be okay, more than 24 hours is okay. Take off all the bolts, and then scuff it down, sand up the areas, and you can start molding it. We normally use a fiberglass mix of Bondo to mold everything all together and smooth it up, and just as it goes, we'll keep smoothing it until it looks as OEM as possible. We also have the GTR rear taillights because they are wider as well too, so it will sit a little bit further out. And then we're going to be doing these mounts, I believe, or these mounts in the same color as the car to make it look nicer and nice and clean. We've also did the front too. They are like the Dulux style GTR fenders, so they do look a little bit different, but they are super nice. As a vent in the front of the as a vent in front of the door piece, or whatever you want to call it, but looks super nice. We already got this going, so let's get this finished up. And I will bring an Evo from the back because we got to paint that as well too. All right, this is the Evo that I was talking about. We already got it in. We already got it prepped, primered, and shot some color over it. Right now I'm just gonna wipe it down with some wax and grease remover and then start shooting some clear. Everything came out super good. Everything looks nice and shiny. I mean, nice and flat and clean, and all the body work came out good. All the prep work came out good. We have the bumper here, the wing, and I'm going to be bringing over the side sketch for that 240 that I was finishing up. But we're going to clear this right now, and I'll show you guys the process of this. But let's start the next day with how we finished up the dash on the 240. All right, new day. It is super windy right now, so if you can't hear me, I apologize. But this is how the dash came out. You can still see some of the cracks. It's not like too crazy noticeable, but it's a lot nicer than what it used to be. We blocked up, like I said, those vents right there. Just looks cleaner. We blocked up these vents and everything, kind of just make everything look nicer and stuff. But yeah, so little things I'm going to finish up today is just going to be like cleaning up some of the areas right here. I'm debating if I want to get sheet metal and like block all that and make it look nice and pretty so it looks like a trans tunnel. We were going to do what everybody does where they cut this whole section off and do it, but I mean, it doesn't get in the way. Seat sits high enough. It's from my little brother's car. He's shorter, so if anything, he needs it to be that much taller than what it would be on the floor. And then just like little things like I found some S14 door cards that we have that I'm going to be cutting up and making it fit to this door and replicating that out of carbon or just regular fiberglass, and then doing it to the other side as well too. And then as time goes, I'll get some sheet metal and just block up all the little extra holes, like all of those right there, all the little like circle holes right there. Get a better firewall cover right there so that way nothing happens when it goes through. Take off those speakers and get a cover for that as well too, just so that way we have everything a lot cleaner. And then we're in the middle of looking for a bolt-in cage for the most part. We want to do an entire cage, but I think a bolt-in cage will do just fine for now, so that's kind of the plan. And then yeah, just redo this bottom section, try to cover up this harness and see where I can run this through where it's not in the way, it doesn't look so ugly. Probably cut right there and just shoot it through the middle so that way it doesn't look all like, it just looks disgusting right there. I like to switch panels, but I might switch it up a little bit, might change it, might do a bigger like panel piece, or have it mounted in a different position, maybe upwards, like it facing up. So instead of it being like that, maybe face it this way, and just kind of have it maybe more back here, kind of out of the way. We are gonna like maybe still run the stock e-brake, I'm not sure, because where it sits, I feel like it's gonna be just too much stuff going on. Even if I set it up over here, it's too much stuff going on. I just don't think we should be running an e-brake. Car doesn't really go anywhere. It's always in gear when it's off. So yeah, trying to figure out where things are gonna go, where things are gonna sit and stay there for a while. So that's kind of where we're at. Everything else is coming out really good, looking nice and clean. I gotta finish wiring up the dash stuff and everything. Gotta figure out where it goes and what goes to what, and figure things out with that and get that going. But overall, came out really good. Gonna do some clean up on some other things around here and start like wiping some of the areas down, so once we get the diff in, we can bring it in and spray the whole inside.